The program knows the diagonal set square iteration. Subject expansion of the high-handed expansion form. The definition of the differential field connection for depends the following theorem. The expansion find the column number conversion. We take then the put the relation number greater continuous process, and then the possible integer number are greater than possible quantity. Example: fat is continuous fractional expansion of pi. Convention we recognize formulas approach. Here is the composition between the reference number and infinite dimension continuous fractional. To calculate the continuous fraction number. Finally, golden ratio. Let's between the four dimensions have good application, so we know that functions we have some more problem we can for that continue fractional relation number. プリンター開発したくなりましたね。Order approximation with a possible number application order. No, that application order だ。プリンターを開発すれば自分で無限にできるという。On the other hand, the algebraic number not appropriate arbitrary order. Suppose that the roots are polynomial. Let the ratio only returning after the actual. Proof lemma injection argument of Lagrange. If the progress connection assumption that relation is wrong, find the first time the connection fraction number roots natural logarithm. Let the Fibonacci number by roots. Chapter fractation. Chapter periodic continuous fractation. In this paper, iteration number continuous fractation for the experience in this group. In the way continuous fractation. Now calculation continuous fractation. Quadratic relation equal quadratic number from radial number. Now we define the quadratic relation. Hence, the quadratic relation. On the molecular equation also. Now our goal proves the conventional raster results. Now that the radius quadratic relation we can set continuous fractation. どうもすいません。Suppose that これお願いします。Actually, with the specific of the replace. Suppose the radius the binding of we have overall formula relation that's the quadratic form. As every argument, the same condition holds. Calculate condition fractional steps. By construction, we can record number. Expansion we following periodic condition fractional from expansion as the following periodic condition fractional from where the relation is greater. Chapter 5. Freddy continues the fractions. Lagrange and pair continue the Fourier expansion to find the n possible integral in the scale. Continue the calculation for n. First, we need to find several continuous calculation. Several possible integers for the sequence. That satisfies some question equation. Proof theorem. Possible integer when proof C was possible further. Multiplying with the central, we obtain a sum of 2 square. We're going to investigate the equation. So prime conjecture, we continue expression sum of 2 square. By the assumption to continue calculation here. The example we have no. Let's just check with the form the red section. We have also the results for how. Now let's make let's conjecture the express some sequence within the construction. We have the proceeding proportions. Solution equation appear alternately. Equation resolution is a conjecture mode. Now we have shown even solution equal area for conjecture. Difference non-rational number, the dimension, or the pair of the summation sequence loop. To right square we add here, we can certainly find some of the square with trial error. Multiplying these equations together, we found it remains shows the solution. We suppose we have seen the fundamental solution, so smallest solution equation. Prove the direct equation and non-possible. Hence, we first solution equation possible integer. これをやるとどうなんでしょう。1日3000枚やるとどうなんでしょう。今日は3000枚の壁に挑戦です。Euler chosen the function in chapter the Euler function. We have only the compare with results for converse. We use define the exist so that let's prime this integer the rest of the real true. We not calculate the integer. Integer that compute the integration compute なんか Mac でこんな紙を重ねてる人がいましたね。Order of elements let's and possible integer Mac で。Mac にいましたけど紙を重ねてる人が。Let's for the integer or the smallest possible integer. Let's integer or the unknown. The integer respect. How to find? Let's prime the diver in number elements of the ether. Let's number elements of the map. これ for the equivalence for the diverse theorem proof. This dimension the integer following equivalence with the conjunction sum. Suppose the direction prime maybe its function 0 square or some of the sum part we have. Again the sum 0 answers the question. Here we notation means the group or the function they did not prove. We have at converse with here. Rise to the random number region above. This is the logarithm problem will keep secret. Could they create a non-recursion of all the following section that we can further conjecture? Let the primary roots the number. However, it's a function method. The only primary integer we have. Any other prime for the distinct prime order, we prove the full rule remaining section. Map mode, example 4, equivalent theorem. There are infinite many prime conjecture. Rest integer diverse by p. Proof roots depend diverse gas and brand notation. And we have prime we get. We sprite the class dependent connection mode. March for sure possible predict. And since out the connection lemma. And that's the ratio value that's the full. The similar recursive rule we have. Here dimension illustration capable calculates following one symbol. And what's the prime point of the error? Chapter quadratic rats non-record. Chapter sum of squared. In chapter we are going to discuss integer return sum of square first square. Positive integer sum of square integer and square have prime factor connection. Now any number satisfy condition the theorem in product the following type. In section compare piece prove theorem for Lagrangian. In the two squares entity, the sum of squares of the integer sequence. Now this is a unique number modes but the example. And the complete full recording we have 4 formulas. Formulas that we use in each case. And now reference process reaches 2 square. And by the identifier expression given, sum of 3 square versus square. We have number multiple rules of powerful format for sequence. We follow inference by even sequence. Common factor diverse in the small solution. We certainly grow function with similar case applying Ferrier equation. Now that can lead to some prime elements time. And the rest of format to several conjecture harder. Factor prime conjecture for the probe defined way. In comparison the way conjecture given. And the argument number forms the express conjecture form. Product number Freud expression form. The quadratic form defines the respective dimension. Quadratic form integer. The identity quadratic form not the class with the discussed area. Matrix dimension equivalent. With the argument apply. We can break reference problem for the trace. It's a straightforward in fact identity modular operation. This case represent exists that represents friends, possible define form to understand the equivalence to study the elements each equivalence class represents. And it means the case consider in case first we look particular kind of equivalence the matrix that takes away the neighbor for this form. Find the radius equivalent possible define. Also form and so what describe we have able. We were the several defined form that's the possible define. This is not satisfy possible defined form we have the equivalent class. Now recall we set correlate on the integral case. That the finite relation quadratic given described as form equivalent defined form radius equivalent. And for the roots or the final calculation so that it is equivalent, we return the main neighbor. And we can only that since radius periodic period a consider form within this radius form describe the right neighbor with the radius description. A quadratic form given finding regular quadratic description function for us the chain equivalence for the main recursive and users calculate the rules appropriate condition finding quantitative frequency expression associated with the radius quadratic form. There is some form. Chapter quadratic form. Reverse problem as solution. Find the express integer. Let's feed the term or brackets. 5,008 messages, the number approximation in order. Show the calculation can be performed. Express regression method or regression function. Show the diverse. Show it's a possible integer and integer such. Currently, alternate methods are given. Yes, we can remove it's a detail. If we use the brackets integer plus later. In the correct number of which the allocation form, no, this is where the integer were already captured. Second is from a unit present to connection. Still continue for calculation. The connection almost should continue for calculation real. This fair about the direction node, so I hope copy it our since previous connection for calculation even. You could just calculate the obtain. So is the direction of Fermat's theorem. Fermat's theorem, the legend symbol defines the integer of prime. The rates of primary roots, but we say reduce or the according to it for parallel parts. The phase if you have the satisfaction that index algebraic integer Euclidean algorithm prime monomic polynomial rational approximation, the value will be value condition formally given. For example, support above sum to before. That's the sum against with the probability. Let's continue example probability with the same form. One was set with the total formula. Okay, what's the more computed? This suggests. This example was a TV game show. We next generalize notation independent for the pair equivalent events for the mutually independent equivalent event. And we have the following several generalized future events of which against refers to the family of union. This with the pair of the family of union content. Consider the mutually independent pair. There is something common associated number mathematical object. The random vertical convolution varies the distance. A pair supposed to the modular expansion of the uniform distribution. The consider the example we can come to with prove the special random varies the binary distribution. Let us continue example further. Let us random varies the image with a conditional distribution given B. Continue example with the independent field. Independent probably independent. I consider again example for the growing time. Let us random image. Proof for several proof the statement. The several several made to consequence. Suppose the various equivalents. Several made the scenario independent random variety. Suppose it finite aberrant group. This is a method source. The term recommended to give an exceptional which is used otherwise in recognition for the range code represents a random variable. Yes, or less the possibility integer for the intermediate context of random variable. Each define remote value.